Shabbat Shalom. If we haven't had the chance to meet yet, I am Rabbi Lockett. It's nice to see everyone. And I know that there are probably lots of people watching at home streaming because they were scared by the weather. This is what happens when it snows on Fridays, but that's okay. We welcome them too. Sitting on the bima is Mike Milkovich, who's a member of our Board of Trustees, so he represents the community tonight on the pulpit. And together, he and I welcome everyone here. Let's take a moment to introduce ourselves to those sitting around us, say Shabbat Shalom, and if you'd like, you can come up close because we've got these seats to give away in the front. Let's turn in our prayer books to page 10. It's the thinner of the two blue books, Mishkan Tefillah. Turn back in our prayer books to page 2 for the blessings over Shabbat, and I'm going to invite Jess and Manuel Chavez to come up and lead us in those blessings, so you can turn to page 2 and participate with us as they lead us.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the lights of Shabbat.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
The heaven and the earth were finished, and all their array. On the seventh day, God finished the work that God had been doing, and God ceased on the seventh day from all the work that God had done. And God blessed the seventh day and declared it holy, because on it God ceased from all the work of creation that God had done.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei pri hagafen. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, creator of the fruit of the vine.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho b'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron l'maaseh v'reshit ki hu yom techila l'mikrae kodesh zecher letziyat Mitzrayim Kivanu v'acharta v'otanu kidashta mikol hamim v'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh HaShabbat. Amen. Let's turn in our prayer books ahead to page 20, where we find the words of Lecha Dodi. Lecha Dodi is a mystical poem that has been around for hundreds of years, and it was turned into a prayer that has made it into almost every Shabbat, Erev Shabbat service. And so we join together in singing some of the verses, not all of them, but 1, 2, 5, and 9 is our custom. And when we get to the 9th verse, we rise as we symbolically welcome the Sabbath bride. Lecha Dodi likrat kala yalalai 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 Shabbat mekavela Lecha Dodi likrat kala yalalai 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 Shabbat mekavela Shamor v'zachor v'dibur echad Yishmiyanu Adonai echad, Shemo echad, Shemo tiferet v'nechila. Lecha Dodi likrat kala yalalai 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 Shabbat mekavela. Lecha Lechala, Lecha turn to page 26 for the Chatzi Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabba v'yamad divrach yirtei v'yamlich malchutei b'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayedecho beit Yisrael ba'gala ba'gala Uvizman kariv vimru amen. Yehesh merabah mevorach le'alam le'amei amaya yitbarach yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yipar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitadleh v'yitalal shmed kurusha berichu Le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata damian v'alma v'imru amen. I know many of you think we're turning to the next page, 28 for the Baruch Hu, but to change things up a little bit and explore our prayer book, we're going to turn to page 146 for the Baruch Hu. There is a second Shabbat service in here that we don't use very often. I thought maybe we would use it tonight. Page 146. Yai la 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 Yai la 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 Yai Baruch Hu et Adonai Together in the English, praise Adonai, to whom praise is due forever. Praise be Adonai, to whom praise is due now and forever. We continue with Ma'ariv Aravim on page 147. Baruch Atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro Ma'ariv Aravim, b'chochma potech sha'arim, uvitvuna meshane itim, umachalif et hazmanim, umisader et hakochavim, b'mishmirotehem barakia kirtsono. Borei yom v'layla, golel or mipnei choshech, v'choshech mipnei or, uma'avir yom umevi layla, umavdil bein yom uvein layla, Adonai tzvaot shemo, el chai v'kayam, tamid yimloch aleinu leolam va'ed, Baruch Atah Adonai, Ha'ma'ariv Aravim. And on page 148, we read responsively, in each age we receive and transmit Torah. At each moment we are addressed by the world. In each age we add our wisdom to that which has gone before. At each moment the knowing heart is filled with wonder. Baruch Ata Adonai Ohev Amo Yisrael. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Hear, O Israel, Adonai is our God, Adonai is one. Blessed is God's glorious majesty forever and ever. You may take your seats. We continue on page 150 with the V'ahavta. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha v'chol levavcha uv'chol nafshecha uv'chol meodecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom alevavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam b'shiftecha b'veitecha uvlechtecha v'aderech uv'shochbecha uv'kumecha ukshartam liot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot b'neinecha Uchtavtam amizuzot beitecha uvisharecha leman tizkeru vasitem et kol mitzvotai v'item kedoshim lelohechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher chotzeiti etchem meretz Mitzrayim liot lachem leelohim Ani Adonai Elohechem. Page 151, we read responsively. We worship the power that unites the universe, a promise of harmony for all. Before our eyes there is a vision of perfection, order, and goodness. When will redemption come? Long ago, we escaped the tyranny of Egypt. Our people saw the power of the Most High. Page 152. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom. Give us a place to rest, O God. Shelter us in the long, soft evening shadows of your truth. You are true protection and safety. In your presence we find love and acceptance. Watch over us as we go forth. Prepare for us as we return. Spread over us your shelter of peace, over all we love, over Jerusalem and yours. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukat shalom aleinu, ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim. Let's turn to page 154 as we join together in singing Vishamru at the top of the page. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat lasot et ha-Shabbat l'ivot ha'Torah. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat lasot et ha-Shabbat l'ivot ha'Torah. B'nei Yisrael, oti le'olam. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat lasot et ha-Shabbat l'ivot ha'Torah. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et ha-shamayim ve'et ha'aretz. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat lasot et ha-Shabbat l'idorot ha'merit olam. Uvayom hashvi'i shavat vayinafash. Shavat vayinafash. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat lasot et ha-Shabbat l'idorot ha'merit olam. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat lasot et ha-Shabbat l'idorot ha'merit olam. Let's turn to page 155 to the Tefillah. Please rise. Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi agib tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei HaKol, V'Zocher Chastei Avot V'Imahot, U'Mevi Geula Livnei V'Nehem, L'man Shmo B'Yahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Ve'ezrat Sarah. Ata gibor leolam Adonai, Mechayeh hakol ata rab lehoshia, Mashiv haruach, Umorid hagashem, Mechalkel chaim bechesed, Mechayeh hakol berachamim rabim, Somech noflim v'rofei cholim, Umatir asurim, Umekayem emunato lishenei afar, Michamocha bal gevurot, Umidom melach, Melech memit u'mechaye u'matzmiach Yeshua v'neman ata lachayot hakol Baruch ata Adonai mechaye hakol Ata kadosh v'shimcha kadosh u'kadoshim b'chol yom yalucha sela Baruch ata Adonai ha'el HaKadosh. You are holy. Your name is holy. And those who are holy praise you every day. Blessed are you, Adonai, the holy God. You may take your seats. In a moment, we will have some time for silent prayer. But before we each take that time, we think of those who are in need of extra blessings on this Shabbat, blessings of healing, blessings of protection. Think of Benita Johnson, Paula Fields, Joni Corwin, Tzipi Ray, Rabbi Rachel Smukler, Rini Goldish, Louise Siegel, Rita Sandstrom, Karen Dingle, Penina Miriam, Jay Weinblatt, Chuck Conrad, Donna Ciani, Emily Jarecki, Yaron, Andrew Jaffe, Marnie Lachinsky, Jim Levitas, Eileen Pachersky, Taylor Boyle, Mary Sue Kern, Zipporah, Rhonda Garvis, Dina, Olivia Nord, Jennifer Nord, Lee Mannheimer, Sue Weber, Ellen Greenberg, Miriam Spillman, Jim Landy, Linda Lindholm, Mark Van Note, Rabbi Lynn Landsberg, Sigmund Stern, Shirley Thomas, John Trachtenberg, Naomi Reyna, Lenny Leader, Beverly Stern. And we think of Nadav Vinesh serving in the IDF and Israel's Defense Forces, and Jamie Larson, who serves the United States military. And we pray for their well-being. I invite you to add names silently or aloud of others we should consider with our Misha Berach. Misha Berach prayer is on page 253 in the prayer book. Misha Berach Avotenu Ekor HaBracha Leimotenu source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen. We take a few moments now for silent prayer using your own words and thoughts and prayers, or the ones you find beginning on page 159. say shalom, bimromad, hallelujah, say shalom, aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imeru, amen. Oh, say shalom, bimromad, hallelujah, I say shalom, aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imeru, amen. Oh, say shalom, bimromad, hallelujah, I say shalom, aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imeru, amen. I want to share a little bit from this week's Torah portion because, in lots of ways, it's this parashah that tells the story of our congregation, of Beit Shalom. In ways that some of you know, and I think in a way that I will share with you in a moment that nobody is really aware of yet. You turn, if you'd like to, I'm going to read it out loud so you don't have to, but if you'd like to follow along in the English, I'm just going to read from page 122 in the commentary, which is the large blue prayer book in front of you. So his parashah for this Shabbat comes from Vayera, which means, and he appeared. I hear pages turning, so I'll give you a second to get there for those of you that are looking. It says here, the Lord appeared to him by the terebinths of Mamre. So who is he? It appeared to Abraham. And the terebinths of Mamre, most people don't know what that means. That means like in a forest. The terebinth is a stand of trees, oak trees. He was sitting at the entrance of the tent as the day grew hot. Can you imagine yet why this is Beit Shalom's story? Looking up, he saw 3 men standing near him. As soon as he saw them, he ran from the entrance of the tent to greet them, and bowing to the ground, he said, "My lords, if it please you, do not go past your servant. Let a little water be brought. Bathe your feet and recline under the tree, and let me fetch a morsel of bread that you may refresh yourselves, and then go on, seeing that you have come your servant's way." They replied, "Do as you have said." And then the story goes on that Abraham ran back to the tent to tell his wife Sarah, "Quick, let's make a meal, let's be hospitable, let's invite these people in." So why is this Beit Shalom story? First of all, this story is known for the value of hachnasat orchim, of welcoming the stranger. And I think that is one of our core values as a congregation, of being welcoming and running out and bringing people in here to feel at home. And it's even amplified in this parsha. We don't see it, but the sentence from the last sentence of last week's parsha, the last paragraph of last week's parsha, Abraham has just circumcised himself and all of the men in his household. So he's in a lot of pain at the beginning of this Torah portion. So running out and being welcoming is something he really wants to do. It really feels like he has to do. And if you look here where it says, as the day grew hot in that first verse, the rabbis sort of grab onto that in the Midrash and say not only was he in great physical pain, but God tried to keep him in his tent by making it unbearably hot so that he wouldn't go out into the furnace of the summer sun. But he goes anyway. And that is a core value of Beit Shalom, so much so that those of you that were involved in designing this building, both of our main entrances have that concrete flap looks like a big roll of concrete, rounded. That's to signify Abraham and Sarah's tent. Like this building is Abraham and Sarah's tent, and we are all Abraham and Sarah waiting to run out and welcome the stranger, to do Hachnasat Orchim. So if you've never noticed that before, when you leave tonight, either through our main entrance or the religious school entrance, you can just look up and see that there is a big concrete tent flap. Now, I think a lot of people know this about the building, and if you don't, by the way, you should get Rabbi Cohen's new book. He's giving a copy of it to every family in the congregation. You can simply pick up a book from the office, but I know he'd love for you to come and get it from him directly so that he can sign it for you. But this being a core value of the congregation, it's been extended even further this week, and I want to share how. And I don't intend to be political in any way when I tell you this story. So if you hear it politically, that's you, not me. But about a year ago, when our country was starting to deal with some of the issues, the current issues surrounding immigration and refugees, in particular from places that are war-torn like Syria, and how we, the descendants of refugees, many of us, could do something to help those that are scattered throughout the world, our Social Action, Social Justice Committee came together to try and figure out what it is that we could do to express this value of Hachnasat Orchim, of welcoming the stranger, of doing something to make these homeless people throughout the world, these refugees, feel at home. But, of course, it's not easy in our country because our gates aren't as open as maybe they once were. And so our committee, our Social Action Committee, decided that they needed to figure out what it was that we could do, knowing that we couldn't actually welcome a family here in our own community. Many of you know that I live with a bunch of Canadians in my house, that Debbie is from Canada, and our daughters are Canadian and American. And so we have a congregation that we're associated with north of the border in Mississauga, outside of Toronto, and Solel congregation, being in Canada, was able to actually work towards literally welcoming a family. And so our committee decided that they would support the work of that congregation financially and somewhat quietly, but actively raise some funds to help contribute to the settlement of this family. And they've known for over a year the name of the family and the people who are part of that family, but it's slow in Canada as well. And so just this week, literally on Wednesday, this family was finally granted its entrance visa into Canada, and they flew from Beirut to Toronto, and on yesterday, were settled in an apartment, largely because of Solel congregation, but with our financial support of several $1,000s that our members raised in order to help pay for the expenses. So I just want to tell you a little bit about the family so that we can in some way express our own sense of Hachnasat Orchim through our Social Action Committee and also through the funds that we've raised. So there's 3 people in this family. They came from Syria. They left their village in 2011, and they've been living in refugee camps ever since 2011 until yesterday, when they moved into their very own apartment in Toronto. Ned is 54. He was a contractor and construction worker in Syria. He only speaks Arabic. His wife, Lila, which is also a Hebrew name, was a housewife and only speaks Arabic. And their son, Tony, who has stayed with them this whole time that they have been on the run, is 22, and he was a hairdresser in Syria, and he speaks basic English. They left their home in 2011. They took a taxi to the border. They crossed into Lebanon, and they've lived there ever since. And they came just this week to Beirut. They are Orthodox Syrian Orthodox Christians, and I imagine that they are experiencing their first days of life in Canada the way many of our ancestors might have when they came to this country, not knowing the language, not really knowing what to do or where to turn. But we can be comforted, as I imagine they are comforted, that they have been greeted by a very warm Jewish community, which, if you ever go to Toronto, I'm sure you could be welcomed at that congregation. We can set it up for you. It's very much like Beit Shalom. It feels a lot like Beit Shalom, which was one of the reasons that Debbie and I were excited to come here when we came, because it felt a little bit like that synagogue, like home to us. So we should all feel good about that. If you want to know more about how you can get involved, I see some people here who are involved in the Social Action Committee, and I can connect you with them after services or in the days ahead. I'm happy to make those connections for you. Let's turn to page 282 for Aleinu. Please rise. Aleinu l'shabeach ladon hakol, latet gedula liotzer bereshit, shelo asanu kigoye haratzot, velo samanu k'mishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, v'gor aleinu kechol hamonam, v'anachnu korim, umishtachavim umodim, Lifnei melech malchei hamlalchim hakadosh baruch hu. Page 287. V'nemar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz bayom hahu yeh Adonai echad ushemo echad. Page 291. It is hard to sing of oneness when the world is not complete, when those who once brought wholeness to our life have gone, and not but memory can fill the emptiness their passing leaves behind. But memory can tell us only what we were in company with those we loved. It cannot help us find what each of us alone must now become, yet no one is really alone. Those who live no more echo still within our thoughts and words, and what they did is part of what we have become. We do best homage to our dead when we live our lives more fully, even in the shadow of our loss. For each of our lives is worth the life of the whole world. In each one is the breath of the ultimate one. In affirming the one, we affirm the worth of each one. Each one whose life now ended brought us closer to the source of life, in whose unity no one is alone, and every life finds purpose. As we prepare to join together in Kaddish Yatom, the Mourner's Kaddish on page 294, we think of those who have died in recent days, whose Shloshim we are observing. Amy Kahn, Sidney Harry Siegel, John Garrett, Daniel Oakes, Ken Sachs, Ruth Weinblatt. And reverently we recall those whose yahrzeits occur at this time. We mention them for a blessing. Mikhail Berkman, Herbert Davis, Bob Edelson, Paul Elias, Sherman Evans, Susan Beatrice Fisher, Kathy Friedman, Irwin Gold, Ronald Grimm, David Gutman, Joy Harris, Helen James, Isaac Kapustiansky, Jesse Katz, Adeline Kival, Irvin Coleman, Jeff Cutler, Paul Langerman, Richard Lazarine, Jean Leff, Elizabeth Locketts, Edith Mark Lurie, Ruth Malman, Shirley Marks, Michelle Milovitz, Harold Moss, Carol Newlander, Maurice Oakes, Sylvia Parlman, Tom Piper, Ann Press, Gerald Racketon, Albert Risberg, William Wall Roach, Louis Rosenberg, Sarah Schaefer, Leah Serber, Marion Servos, Phyllis Sunstein, Richard Maurice Swadden, Maury Wallstein, Albert Usen. We think too of the millions of our people who perished in the Holocaust, many of whom have no one but us to say Kaddish for them today. If there are others for whom you say Kaddish, either for Yahrzeit or for Shloshim, please add their names.
David Leinen,
Zichronam livracha. May their memories be for a blessing. Page 294. Yit gadal v'yit kadash shemei rabbah, b'alma divrach yiratei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon v'yomechon, b'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, b'agalau v'izman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei rabbah mevarach leolam omei omaya, yit barach v'yishtabach v'yitba'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shmei dekudusha b'richu, le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tush b'chata v'nechamata, damiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru amen. Our closing prayer is Hallelu, which you can find almost at the bottom of the page on page 339. Our Shabbat morning worship will begin right at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, and we have an informal Shabbat morning service tomorrow because we don't have a bar bat mitzvah, but it affords us the opportunity to put our chairs in a circle and join together in an informal way, a warm way, a welcoming way. 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. Hallelu, hallelu, bottom of page 339, second from the bottom. Shabbat Shalom.